Good evening, everybody. Sorry, my mic was muted at first. I forgot to unmute it. So, what I was sharing with you guys is that we have something we want to talk about today. Hope you guys have had a prosperous week thus far this week. Hope your weekend was great. Those of you in the Florida area, hope you've done well in the during this hurricane that we had these last 2 nights. Um, the hurricane is gone now, so we're back to Florida life here down here in the Tampa Bay area. Those of you up in the DMV, I don't know if the storm is heading that way or not. I don't know if it's faded out. I haven't checked any updates on it since it left here. I like out of sight, out of mind now, right? So I want to thank you guys for stopping through. Do want to share some information. Well, not really some information, just a little bit of dialogue. I just want to give you guys, some information that I have been receiving as of late in terms of our economy, where we're headed, and what people don't know about in terms of what's been going on with the real estate, gas prices, and things like that. So it all ties into things I've been sharing with you guys for the past 12 plus years, as I've been talking about what you need to do to prepare yourself, prepare your families, and things like that. Um, but here's what I want to talk about. You guys see the topic of the video where it talks about. Oh, a quick announcement. We're getting closer to my start of school. As you guys know, and those of you who may not know, I have decided to go back to school to finish my education on cybersecurity. So I actually will be finished by the end of the year, which is I'm excited about that. This is a little deeper in of cybersecurity. We're talking about coding, ethical hacking. So dealing with Python, dealing with an application called Splunk. Splunk, I'm hearing that from credible people that Splunk, just knowing Splunk alone is like a $250,000 salary. But of course, I'm not utilizing all of this and finishing this education just to go work for somebody. Those of you who know me know that I have something up my sleeve with what I'm doing. So, excuse me. So I want to get right into our discussion this evening. And those of you, you can chime in if you will. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, please share the video if you will. This may or may not be information that helps you, but if it does, whether it does or not, please share it anyway, because it could be somebody this video can help. Those of you who are watching via Facebook, I'm sorry, not Facebook, YouTube, give me those thumbs up. You can give me the thumbs down. Doesn't matter. Do what you will, but give me some flowers on the YouTube. And those of you who are watching via Twitch right now, you can share this video on Twitch. Later, this video will probably be up on Rumble. Those of you who have Rumble, you can follow me on Rumble as well as Jay Hunter Lee. So all of these platforms, Jay Hunter Lee, whether it's Rumble, Getter, Gettr, Getter, Parler, I'm on Parler, Jay Hunter Lee. Of course, Twitter, Jay Hunter Lee, Instagram, Jay Hunter Lee. Just follow Jay Hunter Lee, any platform you choose, and you will find me there. So, folks, I want to talk to you guys about possible $10 gas prices, booming real estate. But see, there's a reason for all that. You got to understand. We're going to start with the gas prices. This is some information that I have gathered. As we talk about this $10 gas price, if you guys know, the gas prices have already jumped up almost $2 since the beginning, since February, the middle of January until now. Gas prices done went from like $1 and something, almost $3 right now. I have a Mercedes, so I have to get the highest grade. So to me, I'm paying like between 355 to 362 ish, somewhere up in there. I'm paying really high prices for gas for me because I have to get the high grade. So listen, folks, are we headed towards a $10 gas price? $10 a gallon gas price? Want to give a shout out to Quintina Lee. Thank you, Quintina, for coming in. Appreciate you. But folks, are we heading towards a $10 gas price? $10 per gallon? I'm not going to predict that. Most of my predictions I've done, 98, 99% of them have been on point, have been correct. I'm not going to predict this. I don't want wish anything bad on anybody, on their pockets, their well-being, trying to provide for their families and that nature. So I'm not going to do any predictions on that. But here's what I am going to do. I'm going to let you know about information that I've found, and I'm going to share with you what you need to do to be prepared. Now, $10 gas price, you guys know, is already going up. Here's what happened. The Biden administration is really pushing the Green New Deal. What's the Green New Deal? That's like renewable energy type of thing, solar or electric cars. Now, a few months ago, I told you guys, take a look at who invests, who has shares in these companies. Like, for instance, they're pushing electric cars. They're pushing electric cars. They're going to force you to get these electric cars. And I'm going to share with you how they're going to do that. But let's just say, if you know, if you're looking at a government, if you're looking at the government trying to push a particular market in a certain direction, there's always something that you need to know about that. First of all, just like wages, whether it's minimum wage or high wage or whatever, the market decides these things. Okay? The market decides these things. First of all, you got to know that. So when you're looking at a government is trying to push a particular market towards a certain direction, you got to understand, you must know that they most likely have vested interest in the direction they're trying to push that market. Prime example, let's just say I'm a politician, I'm a president of the United States, and my strength and my investment, it all comes comes with let's say insurance. So what do I do with the market is try to force the market the people to go in a direction of having insurance. Of course, you already know I'm not talking about Obamacare, but I'm just using this as a hypothetical. I'm not going to talk about Obamacare, but I'm just sharing this information with you. If I know I'm an insurance person, I know I get all my back money, my side money come from insurance. And what I do, I take the American people and force them into getting something that I know I get control over and I get money from. So I'm directing a market towards my own pocket instead of letting the market takes care of that itself. Okay. Same thing with these electric cars. They're going to force you to get these electric cars. Now, if you pay attention to these electric car companies, try to find out who owns shares in these electric cars. I don't know if you can find that, and I don't know if it's public information or not. I don't know if there's a way that you can find out, but I almost guarantee you that the people who was pushing this Green New Deal has stock in these companies that is involving Green New Deal. That includes electric cars. Okay. So what does that do, folks? How are they going to push you in that direction of owning electric cars? A guy named Patrick, he shared one of those ways. He shared two ways, but I'm going to share with you. Well, one is called pain and one is called pleasure. I guess he was mentioning something about pleasure, where the pleasure of this direction will be where they award you some money or whatever to go in that direction of getting electric cars. The other way is, he said, is called pain. Well, and let's talk about the pain, because most people is going to fall under the pain category. Pain category, which means you have United States, I think, is amongst third, between 10 to 3, 10th or third, 10th, third to 10th in the highest gas prices. The lowest gas price, and actually the lowest gas price country in the world is over in, I want to say, Venezuela. I could be wrong, but that gas prices over there is like 76 cents per gallon. They have the most gas. They have the most oil in the world. So the gas price will go up. The gas price will go up. It's going up right now, but they're going to force the gas price to go up just so that you can look towards getting electric cars. But you're not going to get anything in return of that. They are pushing you in a direction. Venezuela. Thank you, Quintina. It was Venezuela. I was right, Venezuela. So they're pushing you in a direction to line up their own pockets. Your family is not going to get a damn thing out of it, but you're going to invest and put your money. You're going to be forced to take your money to go in a direction that's not really going to benefit you. And let me tell you something. If you look at those windmills, those wind, white wind things that's supposed to be producing renewable energy, they also work off gas, people. They also work off gas. 48,000 people lost their jobs due to the Keystone break, oil production, the pipelines. The United States was independent of, it was energy independent. That was stopped. And the pipeline continued. The United States put money in the pipeline over in Russia. The pipeline from Russia headed right over into Europe. So what does that mean? We just had our own energy independence. We could produce our own gas. That's why the gas was very low. The gas is going up now because now they cut our own independence and put money overseas, so that now the United States have to get gas and oil overseas, which is going to cost us much more money, because you're talking about increased barrel of oil in addition to transporting those barrels of oil here in trade. So the United States is getting ready to get their ass handed to them in trade, just like it has been in the past. It's costing you dollars, folks. So now what's going to happen? Gas price could possibly go up to $10 probably in the next 24 months. I'm not predicting it, and I hope I'm wrong, but I got to speak the reality of this here. So you're going to be paying a whole lot of money at the pump, whereas you're going to be forced to probably buy a lot of electric vehicles, and it's not even time for the electric vehicles to take over the market. That comes in time, folks. It comes in time, just like the minimum wage comes in time. You're forcing that prematurely. You're trying to push that on people right away. You're hurting the economy. What happens if you got $10 per gallon gas? Your food prices go up. A loaf of bread gonna damn near cost $9, $10 just for a loaf of bread. Why is that? Because all of that has to be transported. Guess what? The barges, the trade, the Silk Roads. Got to understand the Silk Roads. Silk Roads is a route for trade, right? If you have bread that's being made, they have to charge a lot more money, because guess what? The people who's transporting these goods have to spend money on gas as well. Last I've checked, I have not seen many electrical tractor trailers, electrical barges. They all operate on gasoline, folks. So they're putting the cart before the horse. They're trying to force you into driving electric cars, but the vehicle that transports the goods are still on gasoline. You're about to have your pockets emptied. You're about to get screwed. Remember last year I told you guys about a lot of this stuff. I said you're about to be screwed. Make sure you have a good case of KY with you, so it won't be too painful. I said this to you guys a year ago. All of this in the midst of a pandemic, folks. Pandemic. I hope you guys are really starting to listen to me now, because everything I've told you guys now is happening. You possibly getting ready to freaking pay $10 a gallon out of your. Listen, it's going to be people as soon as they burn out. Let's say a quarter of a gas in that tank, a quarter of a tank. They're going to be trying to fill their cars back up. A quarter of a tank of gas, you fill that up. Just a quarter of a tank, you just top your gas off. It's probably $20 to $25 just to do that. People ain't going to be going anywhere. Businesses, clubs, lounges, people, even the amusement park, people, Busch Gardens or Kings Dominion up in the DMV and in the Virginia area, all that stuff is going to be hurting. The economy is going to be so vicious on the American people, folks. This is what is called a German-style depression. A German-style depression is also known as hyperinflation. Look up the German-style depression. Everything is going to go up but your paycheck, folks. Can you imagine everything going up? And listen, $15 an hour increase in minimum wage is not going to help this situation. I'm going to tell you why. You have an increase of gas prices, possibly $10 a gallon in the next 24 months, within the next 24 months. I haven't even gotten to real estate yet, because that's the second part of our conversation. Real estate is booming, but it's not being bought by you and me. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Food, goods, everything is going up, right? Everything has to go up. Items in Walmart, Best Buy, wherever you like to get your good stuff, games and all that stuff, all that prices are going to go up. But your paycheck ain't going to go up. And $15 an hour increase of minimum wage is not going to help. And let me tell you why it's not going to help during this era. First of all, you're going to be facing inflation, a German-style inflation, or hyperinflation, also known as a German-style depression. You're going to be in that. You're going to be headed. We're just about there now, right? Companies are not going to pay you no damn $15 an hour to work in a fast food joint. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you what it is. You guys, a lady about a few months back got upset with me because I said this. You're going to find people in their 70s, 60s, 70s, and possibly in their 80s driving freaking Ubers because their retirement, their Social Security is not enough. It won't be enough. And don't forget, you're gonna have to pay taxes on everything. You have to pay taxes on everything, folks. Taxes is going to go up. It's not going to go up on the rich. It's going to go up on the middle class, the working class. It always goes up whenever there's a Democrats in office, and you have Democrat in the presidency, in the Senate, and in the House. Your lunch is about to get eaten. So I'm sharing this with you, folks. I just got to keep it real. I got to keep it real. And see, folks, this is why I told folks a long time ago, stop voting for who's popular and vote for policy. I don't care whether you like a person or you dislike a person. Find out what their policies are. Learn how to hear things that people are saying. Learn how to hear what they're not saying, but you can hear it. Right? All of this stuff is getting ready to go down, folks. It's going down. It's going down. $15 an hour, which means you're going to have the highest unemployment rate in the history of this country. My man Gary Niles just said last week, the state of Maryland made minimum wage $15 for state employees. Yeah. And you have a Republican governor up there. And this is, it's kind of shocking that a Republican is pushing that, because they typically like to have control and have better balance in the economy. But it's for a Republican governor. You need to find out who he's really for, because he could be a rhino, right? So McDonald's. How many of you have already seen McDonald's? And I'm sure Walmart have even showed you this already. They already got self checkouts now. I've seen I can drive by. I can see these big kiosk machines in the windows at the McDonald's. I say, oh, man, they got theirs in there already. I've seen Wendy's with them. People are already preparing to not pay $15 an hour. That $15 an hour also means a decrease in manpower by at least 50%. Sorry if you're mad at me. So you're going to have the highest unemployment in the history of man. A German-style depression, also known as hyperinflation. You can also learn about hyperinflation. Just come to think of it, you can also learn about hyperinflation in this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. You can look that up. You're going to be forced to buy all electric cars, which whenever you have products that come out for the first time, folks, you know the price is always high. Just like PlayStation and Xbox and all that. New technology, the price is always high. It starts high before it comes down. And every time it comes out, guess what? There are always some defective things going on with it. Always. Why? Because it's made by man. It's going to have defects somewhere along the line. Yeah, they'll get a lot of it out, but they're going to have some recalls. You're talking about a technology other than Tesla. You're talking about technology that hasn't tapped the market yet, but they are pushing this out there right now because they own stock in a lot of these companies. So they're trying to direct the United States to go in that direction so that these electric cars companies' stock on Wall Street can skyrocket, which making these people in office richer, wealthier. And they're doing this by weaponizing the laws of the land. That's one part. Let's move over to real estate. What is going on with real estate? How come real estate is booming in the midst of a pandemic when you have a lot of people who have not been working, out of work? You got, the unemployment, the extra unemployment that they've been giving people to keep them so they can stay home and not work. But all of a sudden you got a booming in real estate. Look at hotpads.com, or you can look at Zillow. Hotpads.com is where you can find places to rent. Look up hotpads.com and look at rent. And when people can't afford to buy, they go to rent. But how is the real estate booming? The reason the real estate is booming because there are companies who have been thriving during the pandemic. These investment firms been thriving during the pandemic, and these investment firms are the ones who are buying up the real estate, not you and I. So don't let these people fool you, tell you, oh, the real estate is up, people got to go out. No. The real estate is up because investment firms that you and I can't compete with, are the ones buying these properties, and they are renting them out to you and me. That's why the real estate is booming during the midst of a pandemic. Think about this, folks. This shit don't make sense, do it? How all these people you think can be able to buy all these homes when everybody damn near took a loss during this pandemic? Companies have taken a loss. Employees have taken a loss. How do you think they're going to all of a sudden they can buy a house? The investment firms are doing it, people. That's who is doing it. That is who is buying up the property. Take a look. Do your fact check. Look up these properties and find out who it is. These are organizations doing it, and they're renting them out to you at a high end price. The average house right now, it was like between back from 2019 up until 2019, the average house was between 1,000 to 1,200. I was paying 1,200 where I was, and I was staying in a nice area over in Seminole, Florida. Now these houses at least going no lower than $1,400. Most people can't afford $1,400. Listen, if you have a minimum wage increase of $15 an hour, $30,000 a year, you would not be able to afford a $1,400 rent. Not alone, you got to pay utilities with that. And if you got kids, let's be real, folks. You can say all you want. You can make it work, man. You would damn near starve. You would not be buying. You would not be able to buy clothes for at least another 7 years. Fresh clothes. Inflation, folks. Inflation. First time buyers program, please. The home is going to be sold to the people who got the money. They will outbid you simply because they can afford to outbid you. So, well, Jay, what do we got to do? I'm going to tell you what you got to do. You got to do exactly what I've been telling y'all asses for the past 10, 12 years. Start focusing on your wealth. Building your wealth. Building generational wealth. Because guess what? A lot of these investment firms are nothing but other people who have done exactly the same thing I'm trying to tell you to do. That's all it is. This is a capitalist society, folks. You can say fuck capitalism, you can get mad at capitalism and everything you want, but guess what? Here's a bit of truth. If you think socialism is the way, what is socialism? Socialism is you go to work so that I can eat. That is not how the universe is set up, folks. It's not how the universe is set up. And those of you who follow religion or Christianity, that is not how God intended us to live. Read your Bible. The man who don't work should not eat. That's in the Bible. You're a Christian, that's in your Bible. That's what you've been taught. That's what you've been told to read. That's what's been taught amongst your faith. Got too many people out here don't want to work, but they want to eat. The market determines how much you make. The market determines which is supposed to be the vehicle you're going to drive. The market does that, not the government. The government is to make sure everybody get a fair shake in a capitalist society, which is what we're in. They don't create industries and then try to push people towards that industry. So for their personal gain. That ain't government. That's dictatorship. And you guys are not paying attention. Got to focus on your own wealth. Women, you can't always just marry into the rich. Get your ass up. Get your education, do whatever it takes. Because guess what? The pandemic hurt my business. As a speaker and author, the pandemic hurt my business. Wasn't nobody calling speakers. So guess what I done? I said, you know what? I need to go back, finish my education in cybersecurity so that I can start building my empire with that, which will put the money in my speaking business. I already got 3 streams of income, folks. 2 out of the 3 is developing. I'm sorry, 4. 3 out of the 4 is 2 out of the 4 is developing. The other 2, one is doing well. The other one is starting to do well. and the other two is already in development. And I tell you what they are. One of them is involved with real estate development, building cities, building communities, building buildings. That is already getting ready to start to take shape up very soon. The other is a company that I've already put together. While I'm finishing up my cybersecurity credentials, I'll be able to get contracts all over the world to protect people's data. I'll be hiring tens of thousands of people for that. So I'm already making myself available to the marketplace, and I'm already putting myself in position to where I don't care what direction the economy goes, I will still thrive. Now you might have people say, well, I got a good job with the government, or I have this and I got that, so I'm good. You're a selfish asshole. Because just because you're good doesn't mean your kids are good. Your kids can't inherit your cubicle. Your kids can't inherit your position at Walmart. Your kids can't inherit your position with the Department of whatever in the United States government. Your kids can't inherit that. But what your kids can inherit is two things. They can inherit your wealth, or they can inherit your poverty. You make the choice. If you love them so much, then why do they have to create a GoFundMe page to bury you? If you love them so much, how come they can barely inherit? Matter of fact, they can't even inherit your 401k. Did you know that? How many of you knew that your children could not inherit your 401k? Your 401k goes right back to the stock market. They can't inherit your cubicle. They couldn't inherit your 401k, but they can inherit your business. They can inherit your wealth. They can also inherit your brokenness. What are you going to do about it? Tick tock, tick tock. And I ain't talking about the app. I'm talking about time. Dr. Dennis Kimbro said one thing. He said, if you look at life expectancy, the average life averages between 30 to 35,000 days on Earth. That's all we got. 30 to 35,000 days on Earth. What does that equate to? That equates to about between 76 to 80 years old. So guess what? Time doesn't run out, but your life does. What are you doing with your life? Les Brown shared a quote one time. He said, most people die at 21 and don't even get buried until they're 75. Muhammad Ali said, a man who sees life at 50 the same as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. Come on, folks. Come on, folks. You still think the government gonna liberate you? You still think Black Lives Matter is gonna save you? Antifa is gonna save you? Feminist organizations, you think that's gonna save you? Those organizations are hurting you. They're crippling you for life. Just like a butterfly in a cocoon. How many of you know about the butterfly in the cocoon? A man and his grandson are walking through the forest. And the grandson noticed a butterfly struggling to get out of a cocoon. So what the grandson do is go over and grab some small little sticks and pry open the cocoon a little more so that the butterfly can come out easier. And the butterfly falls straight to the ground. So the grandson says to the grandfather, to his grandpa's dad, Grandpa, the butterfly is not flying. What's wrong? The grandfather explained to him, well, because you helped him, you opened up the cocoon for him to get out. The butterfly did not have the opportunity to struggle his way out of the cocoon, which would have built his muscles to flap its wings to fly. So therefore, the butterfly has no strength in his wings. So the butterfly will die. And all the ants are going to come and eat up the butterfly. So are you helping people? Or are you enabling people? That's the difference. A lot of people say, man, I get the shitty end of the stick because I try to help people. I give people all my help. No. You're not helping them. You're enabling them. That's why they use the hell out of you. That's why they don't appreciate you, because you are enabling them. And they take all of your help that you've done, all your enabling that you've done to them. They'll shove it right back in your face and they'll move on. They'll treat you like shit. They'll lie on you. In some cases, some of them will get you locked up by putting a huge lie on you, or try to get you arrested, or try to do something, and all you've done was try to help people. Stop enabling people. You have to give them an opportunity to help themselves. They have to participate in their own rescue. And where we're headed right now, and with this economy, if you're not in the mindset of participating on your own rescue, let me tell you one thing: I don't want you around me. I don't want you to call my phone. I don't want you to text me. I don't want you in my inbox. I don't want any of that, because that shit is contagious. I don't want that. I'm on a whole different path. Unless you say, Jay, I have to change my mindset. What do I need to do to get to this level? How do I put myself in position to do this? That right there is when I'm way willing to do what I can to help you. I don't have all the answers, but we can collaborate. We can do some research together. You see what I'm saying, folks? This is all I've been saying with you. This is all I've been telling people for over 12 years. Booming ass real estate. And it ain't because of you and me, because investment firms are buying up all the properties. They're buying up all the properties like China is buying up all the land over in Africa. And guess what? Everywhere there are darker people on earth, the darker people on earth get the shitty end of the stick. And it ain't because of circumstances, because we refuse to use our mind. We refuse to use our head. We refuse to think and change our mindsets, change our habits. Dr. Dennis Kimbro also talked about the word capitalism. Just like he said, capitalism is not a dirty word. All it means is that everything's for sale. He said, if you break down the Latin derivative of the word capitalism, you have a word called caput. Caput, C-A-P-U-T. In Latin, what does the word caput mean? In Latin, it means head. So in order to do well in a free, enterprising, capitalist society today, we must use our what? Our head. Shout out to Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Look him up on YouTube, Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Kimbro. Look him up on Facebook. Look him up on all platforms of social media. Also look up Les Brown. He's another one of my great influencers. Les Brown. Look up Les Brown. Now, as far as finance, sales, things like that in the economy, look up Brian Tracy. He will put you in the next direction, in the direction you need to go in. Brian Tracy, look him up. Also look up a gentleman by the name of Grant Cardone. Look up Grant Cardone. He will help put you in the right direction. Look up a gentleman by the name of Jack Daly. Jack, last name D-A-L-E-Y. Jack Daly. Look him up. Look up a good friend of mine. His name is Dr. Keith Johnson. He's a confidence coach. Those of you who know what direction you need to go in, but you don't have the confidence to do it, look up Dr. Keith Johnson, who's a confidence coach. Also look up another great friend of mine, Lisa Nichols. She's from the movie The Secret. She and I spent some time together as well. She actually spoke at my event back in 2018, the Tampa Bay Wealth Summit. Look up Lisa Nichols. She will help to inspire you. She's a transformational speaker. She will help your transformation. Look her up, people. I just gave you, and I got a whole lot of people's names I could throw out there, but that's too much for you. Look up those people that I just mentioned. And I guarantee you, your life will not be the same. Guaranteed. So with that being said, folks, I'm done. I don't want to keep you guys. We've been on here 45 minutes. I hope this has been helpful to you guys. If I've helped you this evening, please put that in the comments and say thank you. This has been helpful. And share this video. Again, as I mentioned before, share the video. If it did not help you, it's okay. Share it anyway, because you know somebody, or there's somebody on your friends list, family or friend, that this video can help, that need to hear what I just said tonight. Share it anyway. So with that being said, folks, I want you to do me one bigger favor. One bigger favor, and that is to sing like no one can hear you. Dance like no one can see you. Oh, good to shout out to my man Sherman Rivers, man. What's up, Sherm? Good to see you, my brother. Always a pleasure. Let me put your comment up there, man. Good to see my man Sherman Rivers, man. Thank you. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Sherman Rivers, my man Gary Niles. Good to see you, Gary. Always a pleasure, man. You always come through, man. And I'm glad I was able to help you, brother. I really appreciate your love, man. Quintina Lee, thank you for stopping through as well. I don't know who else has chimed in, but thank you all for chiming in this evening. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You're very welcome. Always a pleasure to talk with you guys this evening, folks. So again, let me just start my ending over again. I want you to sing like no one can hear you, dance like no one can see you, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. I'm Jay Hunter Lee. I love you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.